You are now listening to Shoot the Shit with your hosts, Seany Caulfield and Sal Licata. Enjoy the show. Woo!
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 27 of Seany and Sal's Shoot the Shit. I am Seany Caulfield, your favorite Major Mark's favorite Major Mark, and I am with the biggest Mark, Sal Licata of WFAN and SNY. What's going on, Sal? How you doing, brother?
Hi, Seany. You know what I noticed? That you know how when you do the Zoom link, it goes, "You're now recording." You don't even give it a beat. You are just, as soon as that thing hits record, you're just boom. Welcome to episode 27. I'm surprised it doesn't get clipped off. That's how close you cut it every week.
It just starts recording right away, I noticed. So I try to do it as quickly as possible so that Bo doesn't have to edit any space, you know?
Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's much editing. You do it instantly. Anyway, it's good.
That was a great, actually, intro. That was one of my better ones.
Yeah, that was a clean one.
That was a clean intro. Yeah.
Yeah. So it took you 27 weeks. You fucking.
Guys, you don't know this, but me and Sal during the week, all we do is send each other funny messages, figuring out funny ways to say you're a fucking Mark.
You had a great one this week. I forget exactly what it was, but I was legit laughing out loud.
Yeah. Oh, you sent it to me. To me. We'll play it. We'll play it before the show's over. But I'll have Bo edit it in. How about that?
Bro, the term Mark comes from wrestling used to be in carnivals, right? Like in the 30s and 20s. So they would call people who walked in and they knew they could get their money marks. So that was their mark, right? So they would watch and see who would be easiest to fool. And that's who they would go after to, play games and all that stuff. And that person would be you. You fucking Mark.
So previously on, there's been, obviously we had the last 2 weeks where we interviewed people. So we didn't really have shows the last 2 weeks because we've been talking, I feel like we did such a great job. And thank you to everybody who messaged us saying, like, you guys really kept it, like, you kept us in the know, and thank you for getting those people on because you really went into the story. You were, what do you feel about that, Sal?
Yeah, I mean, we're not doing it for other people's approval, but I mean, I thought it was cool to get the reaction and feedback that it did. I wanted answers on some of these things. We got answers. Talking to Kinnick was fun. Like, I love talking to him. I could talk to him for a whole hour. We got to do that. Me
too, easily.
But with Sean, I thought, people could have their own opinion on what he said. I gave my opinion. You gave yours at the end of it, but I thought it was at least informative and getting his perspective. So I thought it was good. I mean,
I agree. I think it was great. And like you said, we don't do this for anybody's approval or anything like that. We know we are the market. We know what they want. We know what people want. So we're lucky, and we're lucky to have good friends. So, okay. So WrestleMania 2, this is a follow-up from like 3 weeks ago. So WrestleMania 2000 was in LA. And that's why they have that, the show.
16, right? WrestleMania 16.
Yes. Right. So this is live 16. Yeah. So it correlates. Yeah. Which is actually very cool. It's weird that happened. And then, okay, Midian. So Midian,
what do you mean it's weird that they happened?
It's weird that happened. Like WrestleMania 16 was in LA.
Right.
And this WrestleMania aligns with Live 16.
Right. In LA.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but didn't they do it on purpose? The boys?
How did they do it on purpose? How can they would have had to schedule every live show differently if they did that on purpose.
Well, the fact that they have it in LA, I think, is purposely done, no?
Yeah, yes, but no, it's purposely done because WrestleMania is there. But
I
like they could have had one more show that would have been live
it wouldn't have been
17.
16, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Midian was a Godwin brother. So the Godwins, like, we don't know who they were. I didn't know who they were. And Midian was like I guess he looked like the Undertaker, but Midian was what was during the Attitude Era when I watched, and somebody hit me up and like, yo, Sean, you know who Midian is? And I'm like, yeah, of course I know who Midian is. He's like, he was one of the Godwins. So I'm like, get the hell out of here, because the Godwins are like farmers, and Midian was like kind of like Undertaker, like he was like very like dark character, so it was so weird knowing that, and I was like, wow, thank you for telling me. It kind of just hit me.
I
um
I've never heard of Midian before.
Never.
No,
So
never.
you did
So
good, with the history though when we
yeah,
had
last
Sean
week
on. Yeah.
Midian I've never heard of. That's not my wheelhouse.
Sal's rant on the radio when you called the guy when the guy blamed you single-handedly for the Mets collapse because you said that it was over, and he said if you didn't say that, the Mets would have won.
Well, now why are you bringing that up on here? You just love that.
I love it. You were like, you idiot. You were like,
Yeah.
that's it. This is my last day. I'm gonna quit.
That video got like 300,000 views, if you can believe that.
Bro, of course, yo, that is
People love that stuff, man. I don't get it.
bro. They love it because it's real. Like, that is real. Like, like you said, like you explained yourself, which I was a little upset about, that you said you kind of were embarrassed by it. But I get that part of it. Like, you don't want to see yourself yelling at somebody on the,
Well, we've all, well, that's the thing. We've all lost it, right? At some
everybody.
point. So,
Yeah.
with me, that's the part that people, the fan,
They remember.
Yeah, and people then love that stuff. So it's a spot where I lost it, and it's getting blown up to a point where there's that many views. Look, it's fine. I'm not sorry for it, but I'm not proud of it either. So it wasn't like I was ashamed of it or anything. I was mildly embarrassed by like, oh, that's what's gonna blow up, but whatever. People love it.
I thought even though you were upset, you still are able to hold, like, yes, you said like, he's an idiot or whatever, but he is an idiot.
Right.
Anybody that believes that just because Sal Licata in a little sprinkle in Manhattan of a person says something that made the Mets lose. Like, if you truly believe that,
yeah,
you are an idiot. Yeah. But when you said I'll walk out of here right now, I lost it. That was because I do that. I'll be like, I'll walk out of here right now.
in that moment, I was prepared to quit.
I know, that's the best part. Sean, we have an update. Sean Ning signed the Conquistadors to a contract.
Right.
We're happy to announce, which is huge. I personally have helped him try to find and locate Haystack's a family, and we cannot find anybody yet. It's very difficult. I even called the county that he was born in, and I called the office that handles this stuff, and they don't have any records of his real name.
Right.
And we're just gonna keep looking until we find it, and it's just not gonna be made until we find the family. So it might be a year, it might be a month, we don't know, but any way I can help Sean find the family, I'm gonna try. So that's that. I'm selling bendies in the group, right? Because I have so many extras. Like, I counted, I have like 70 bendies, and there's been like 45 released, right? So I have like 20 something extra. So I put the bendies.
Doubles?
I bought doubles and sometimes triples. Like, sometimes because Danhausen, like the like, especially like the ones that are like limited, I buy doubles and triples of it to sell later, but I never sold them.
Oh, okay.
So I was just like, okay, I'll just put it in my bendies rack, So I put it in the bendies rack. And I'm going through it, and I'm like, why do I have so many bendies? I had bendies in boxes that weren't even open. So everybody today, I put up like 7 bendies for sale. They start leaving emojis and stuff like, see you later, bud. We're gonna miss you. And I'm like, why can't I sell something without people thinking that you're in trouble or
Right.
like
You must really need the money.
even Brian, right? Like even Brian, I saw him wrote on your comment, like on your post that you were selling something, and he's like,
Right.
everything okay? Like, bro, you sell stuff every week on whatnot. Should I message you? Should I message you? Are you
Right. That is true.
like
I didn't think of it like that. I
every
figured
it like kind of annoys me, honestly, in a way. It annoys me. That's how I feel about it.
wait until the big sale comes. I'm getting rid of everything. I think it's all going. I'm tapping out. I'm tired of it. I'm time to liquidate.
Yep. So we've been feeling the same way. We've been talking about it for months. And I've been going through everything so I can have like a huge couple whatnots and just get rid of all the fat in my collection because it's too much. It's too much. I don't need a Liv Morgan figure, you know. I don't need that stuff.
You bought a Liv Morgan figure, you fucking mark.
Yo, I was in, and I'll tell you why. I was in Target. It was when they first came out. Nobody could find them. So I bought it. And again, I tell myself I'm going to sell it. And I never end up selling it because
Dude, all kidding aside, selling
it's terrible. It's terrible.
It's such a pain in the ass.
And
to move stuff, you really got to price it like at a fraction of what you paid for it.
100%. 100%.
Shipping,
so
packing, shipping, taking the pictures, finding out what it's worth, all that stuff. It's such a hassle.
Unless your name is Cardona or Myers or Sterling, and then you just throw it on whatnot and just get 4 times and it's not their fault, you know. Right. It's their names. They built up their names. Okay. So Steel Post, guys. Oh, anything else? Anything else, Sal?
I don't think so. Not from that, no.
Okay. Steel Posts. The first one I have is Matt Cardona. This was a couple weeks ago, but we haven't had a show. Going to be completely transparent. El Segundo Brewery is now telling us they are too small and it doesn't have seating for our fans to sit in it. We will likely have to move locations. Does anybody have connections in LA? They end up finding a new spot. I looked at it. It's so cool. It's apparently like a fictional bar from the musical. What's that musical with the presidents again? Jackson or Hamilton?
Oh,
Hamilton.
Hamilton, yeah.
No, Hamilton has Jackson. Like a bunch.
Yeah, Hamilton was great.
Hamilton has a fictional bar apparently in it, and they made it a real bar. So that's where they're gonna have the show, and it just sucks. Like, how do you guarantee somebody to have, like Matt said it, he told them how many people he was having and everything, and they totally disregarded that. Like, how do you disregard that as a venue?
Yeah, I mean, you would think that they do the responsible thing, but as long as it gets it cleared up, maybe it'd be better off, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like they have more space now, which is good. It's always important for them, especially Mark, who sets up all the equipment, that the place is wired for like having people on stage and things like that. That's like super important. And you don't realize that until you go to one of the shows, like how much goes into that stuff. It's kind of crazy. So that's why I say Tim Sterling is the GOAT. Because Tim Sterling is like, he doesn't even talk. He just literally is working all day. Next, so there I look in my emails, I found another Zack Ryder garden gnome for sale on eBay.
Okay.
Did you see that I posted it when I
did? I did, yeah.
And Major Mark named Vinny, who's awesome, he ended up buying it. And which is weird because I spoke to him and it was like, there's not many. I think there's like 8 out there. There's not many.
Did he get a good price?
He got it. It was like $300. But the weird thing is, I happened to look at my email and I have it saved searches WWE Garden Gnome. So anytime a WWE Garden Gnome comes up, because I was looking for the Swaggle one.
Yeah.
So I can see it in your eyes, like you're such a freaking mar. So I was looking up the Swaggle one and stuff. So it was $2.99. He bought it. He's now part of the Gnome Club. And the weird thing is, the day before, he received the eBay gift for his birthday, I believe, for $200. So he only paid $100 for it. So
I love that.
It's like fig fate, like that stuff to me is like it's meant to be. Like,
I love the gift card to eBay is great, man.
It's awesome.
Guilt-free purchasing. I love it.
Guilt-free purchasing. The next, it's a drawer up that Mark Cochran did of me. He had done a Vader one as well. Did you see that as a toy?
Yeah, I think I did see that.
So it's the blue picture, Sal. You see the blue picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is of me with the Santa suit on, and obviously
It
my
looks
head.
great. It
looks
great.
Awesome. It even has the Jordans on it. Like if you zoom in, it has the Jordans that I'm wearing. So I thought that was super cool. Mark is still in the process of making mine, and I'm excited. Once I finally receive those, I'll be so happy. And I'm just grateful that he made that of me. And
that's sick.
Speaking of, while we're on the topic, Joe Dumas, my good friend TK Kelly, had a bendy made of me. Can you believe it?
No. How are you getting all these figs made of you?
People love me. I'm so grateful.
It is true.
I'm so grateful for it. I really am. Like, it just like TK Kelly is one of my really good friends and just a great guy. He FaceTimes me and I'm like, why is TK FaceTiming me? So I FaceTime with him earlier in the day. And he's like, Shawnee, look what I got. And he holds up the bendy of me. And I'm like, this is incredible. And Joe Dumas ended up doing it. And it looks just like me. So Matt and all the bendy boys, I'm ready, baby.
Yeah.
I'm ready to sign. The next one is Rush Collectibles has to be the most shit company out there. I'm just gonna say it just like that. They have put out 70 plus artworks, and they haven't come out with a figure yet. Yet they're, in my eyes, I feel like they're a reason why it could be the reason why everything happened with like Sean and all that stuff. I believe that that somebody from Rush had something to do with it.
Rush is the same thing as what did it used to be called?
Cella? No.
Yeah, Cella. Oh, it's not?
No, it's not. I think Rush is different. Yeah. Okay. So they're putting out a French Angel figure, right?
That's who that guy is?
That's who that guy is, right? He looks like he's scary looking. And the only reason I know him because I saw on a Andre documentary one time about him because he had the giganticism, right? That
he looked like it, yeah,
that he had, and you could tell. But how deep do you gotta be to make a fucking French Angel figure and think it's gonna sell?
Yeah, I don't understand the business model here. I mean, they keep putting out stuff. To me, it's somebody I've never heard of before. I don't get it.
It's like, who cares? Like, put out a figure, and then you can release more of these.
Yeah, I don't even pay attention to it. I've heard of Rush Collectibles, obviously, but I couldn't name you. So they literally have no figures out.
No figures out, not one, Sal. But yet they have over 70 artworks.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's absolutely crazy. And to me, that is like I will never support that company ever. I don't care who it is. I don't care if Mitch is their best friend. I don't care. I will never support that company because it's 70 artworks with nothing to show for it is an absolute disgrace. And anybody that sticks up for that, you could go shove it too. Because it's ridiculous. The next thing is Matt Cardona was sitting at a table, and all of a sudden somebody comes up to him with a card, and Matt is like, it's a GCW card. Matt's like, I never seen that freaking card. Like, where did that card come from? All of a sudden, the kid goes, oh, there was only like 30 made or something like that. And Matt's like, I didn't give Brett Lauderdale approval or whatever. So the kid goes, sign it. And Matt's like, I'll sign it if you give me one or something like that. Matt said, like, I'll make a deal with you to get one because I'm not signing yours if I don't even have one, right? So I completely understand Matt on this. I sometimes I disagree with Matt, but I completely agree with his stance here. How can they put something out without you knowing? And Matt's answer was, it's GCW, bro. Like, that's the answer, because they're so corny that they don't even ask their own talent, like, if it's okay. So they just sell stuff, and then they'll give, they'll give maybe Matt one later or something like that. But like, I just felt like that was such a corny move.
What did he do? Did he end up getting one?
He ended up getting one from that kid.
Oh, okay.
His friend was nice enough to give his up, so Matt signed the kid's card, and the kid's friend gave his card to Matt in return. So I thought that was cool. But it's a nice looking card, actually. It's like red and like the skulls on it. It's nice. But just don't make it without the talent knowing. It's terrible. All right, the next one is our good friend, Zombie. This figure, the Deathmatch King figure, is absolutely incredible. And it's gonna be part of a 2-pack.
See, that's what I hate, because I'm not buying a Nick Gage. Is it Nick Gage?
Nick Gage, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not buying a Gage figure.
So I think you have to if you want this figure.
Or you don't have to.
Or you don't have to buy it. Yeah. I mean, you have to if it's this figure,
I'll wait till maybe somebody splits them up in the group.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true, yeah. But
although most people probably want to keep it together, I will say that figure looks sick, though.
For sure. And he says, like, it's been in development for nearly 2 years. And he thinks it's going to be an instant sellout, which I'm sure is going to happen. If you look at the back, though, it comes with, it's like the blood. It looks like it. Everything about this figure is 10 out of 10 to me. I think the face is spot on. The light tube with the blood on it. It's just a great figure. I'm definitely in on this one. We had some words with Zombie, and I just want to speak about it. So he had made a video, I guess, going after Mitch and some other companies, but I took it as a shot at Mitch. And he basically was saying, like, Uncle Tony. And then Ahmad Johnson was there. And Ahmed Johnson's like looking at him like, who the hell is this guy? Like, why is he yelling Uncle Tony? And then he says, I'm an actual real toy company that actually has real products, or whatever he said.
Well, he has figures out, which is accurate.
Has figures out, and that blah blah blah, all that good stuff. You commented on it saying, like, bro, is this what you got? Like, is it,
well, let me just say that my issue, because there was some, I feel like, misunderstanding in the group. Number one, I'm allowed to feel about something the way that I want to feel about it, regardless of circumstance.
100%.
I've said it to you. I've said it when we've had guests on. I've said it to Mitch that nobody can touch Zombie's product. And I stand by that. I've told now Zombie that to his face as we DM'd a little bit after this. However, I saw that video and I thought it was weak. I just thought it was cheesy. Yeah. And it has nothing to do with the response. Sunil chimed in saying, like, oh, you're just friends with Mitch. That has nothing to do with it. I don't care. I said it. If you go back and watch, when Mitch pulled out the pink gloves, it was executed perfectly. It was hilarious. But I said it at the time, that's going to cause some trouble. Like, Zombie's going to respond. So I have no issue with the response. I had an issue with the execution. I thought for a guy that is by far the king of the retro style figures, I just didn't think that was good. I thought it was stupid.
Yeah,
But
and I agree. I think people took it the wrong way, like we were going against Zombie, right? Because you had wrote, and then I wrote something a little different, right? But I think, like, to me, if you're the top dog, you don't gotta attack the little pups. Like, to me, the little pups try to get you down, right? So, like, to me, when Mitch, I'm not saying that he can't go after them. I'm not saying that. Like you said, I just wish it was something better. I literally cringed at that video. I did not find it funny at all.
right.
And Mitch did it with pure laughter. Like, it was pure laughter. It was the perfect joke. So if Zombie would have came back with something clever like that, I would have loved it. I would have loved
Agreed.
it. But it
Agreed.
felt like when you attack somebody, like, well, I'm the only real company, like that to me is not a good comeback.
Yeah, and look,
So,
maybe it's fun for people to see the back and forth, the beef that maybe these two have, or the trash talking. It could be entertaining, but it's not, for at least from my reaction. It has nothing to do with having Mitch on and being somewhat friendly with him, because I
yeah.
tell him to his face if his product. Matter of fact, I did not buy a Mitch figure yet. I'm not saying I will never, but I didn't pre-order that Godfather figure, or whatever his name is, the
Smoke
Pimp Daddy.
Train.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Smoke. Whatever. I didn't buy that figure, but I bought Zombie product. So I'm not. To me, it was just.
I love how Zombie writes that, like, in reaction to you. He's like, yeah, I saw that you ordered, series 1. Like, yeah, if you watch the show and listen, we've been backing your figures since day one.
Well, I told him privately that I've applauded him publicly many times about the figures. There's
Many
nothing,
times.
and it had absolutely nothing to do with him not coming on the podcast.
Nothing.
Of course, for us, it would have been interesting to have him on, just like we had Mitch or Sean or
Yep.
Connect, whatever. So it would have been cool for us to have Zombie on so we could ask him questions. I get why he wouldn't want to come on with us. If you're going on with Sam Roberts, then that's obviously a much bigger audience. But don't think that we're offended by that at all, because
Not even, it wasn't even a thought in my mind. That's
right,
why,
right.
like, I laughed. And like I said, I have nothing against Zombie. I laughed when I saw that. I laughed when I saw that comeback. Like, you think that you coming on the show has any effect on our show? It has nothing. Would we have loved you on the show? Yeah, I would love to talk to you like a real person, instead of like DMing you and
Right.
messaging you online. And I would love to have that interaction with you. But, well, unfortunately, it's not meant to happen, and we wish you the best of luck.
Yeah. And by the way, just to clarify, like, I don't have any beef with him whatsoever.
No,
we responded,
there's no beef.
We DM'd or whatever. I support his figure line. All I said was that I was not a fan of the video. That's it.
Yeah,
not his
that's
personal, not his figures, not even the idea of responding at Mitch. I welcome the back and forth. I just didn't like that.
You didn't like the way it was done. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And I thought it was stupid, but that's all right.
Yeah.
That's
but yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because it came up anyway. So let's talk about it. Okay, so a friend of mine. So this is from Matthew Bark posted. A Facebook friend of mine posted this on his Instagram today. He just acquired this resin prototype used for making the Jax toy title belt. Along with this one, he picked up several more, including the unreleased WWF Hardcore belt. Very cool to see. And in the picture, it shows the smoking skull belt and like the mold that they used to make the toy version of it. How cool is that?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a belt,
if you're a belt guy, yeah. Like
For
Matt,
me,
design that.
Yeah, right. That is awesome. That's awesome.
So that's just like so cool. Next is so my boy RVD, Rich Von Doom, the real RVD, he posts, thanks you to a seller for making this dream come true. I presented the grail of Mattel WWE figure collecting, the 1 of 5 USA Ultimate Warrior. This figure is so badass.
What are we looking at price point? Does Broski have one of these or no?
I don't know. I gotta ask him.
Do you know what he paid?
I don't know what he paid, but from what I saw, it was in the thousands easily.
Like 10?
Like it must have been from I'm guessing anywhere from like 5 to 15,000 in that area.
Right.
I
I
don't
would
know
say,
what he paid because I would never ask him that.
and
But
knowing that seller, because I've dealt with that seller before, with LJN figures years ago, and he's a pain in the ass. I would say that it was on the higher side of whatever you think it is.
got it. So yeah, I mean, there's only 5 of them, and so what? From what I read, what people were thinking it was worth, if you have one on card, that they said you could possibly get up to like 40 to 50,000 for it.
40 to 50. Yeah, if it's on card, one of those 5 on card. Do they even make them on card though?
Yeah, I believe they did make it on card. Yeah, this one's loose. I don't know. I don't know how it came presented. I have to figure up on follow up, but just look at that figure. How awesome is that thing, man? Like
Yeah,
the splatted paint.
Yeah, think
I'm not.
he wore that gear at some point.
Yeah, I'm guessing he did. I don't know about it, but
It's a cool figure.
yeah. But yeah, so that's really cool. The next thing is something you don't see every day. It was you see this skateboard? It's a Stone Cold Steve Austin skateboard, and
Yeah.
your friend Andy had posted it.
Oh,
And
and Pandemonium?
yeah, Fandemonium. And guys, if you whoever's listening, join the group Fandemonium. It's really awesome. I've been a part of it for a long time. And the guy Andy that runs it is a gem. He really
Andy
is.
Brown, he's a good dude.
He's a great dude. So go join Fandemonium if you're not in it already. It's really an awesome group. So yeah, it's I used to ride a skateboard when I was younger because it was huge. Like riding skateboards were huge when I was young. I forgot you're like 70 years old, Sal. So I couldn't say when we were young.
I did not ride skateboards, although they did have them around. I just was not a skateboard guy.
Yeah, I couldn't do any tricks, but I could ride really fast. But I used to
Go ahead.
I used to get scared like when I was doing like a kickflip or something, that because I would always hit my shins, and that was like the worst pain ever.
Did you because of your expertise in skateboard riding, is that what taught you how to ride a scooter? Is that how you learned to ride a scooter?
You would think, yeah.
Skateboards?
Yes, yes. Man, what I would do for that freaking footage, man. I wish, honestly, I was thinking about it, but there wasn't any stores around. I wish I would have went to the local stores and got the video.
Security camera?
Yes, the CCTV. I don't know if there's a way, but if somebody can find a way to get that footage, that would be like incredible. All right, let's go. I'm going to go through these quick. So we were right. The Macho Madness did not sell. Rob, but whatever his name is, Rob Feinstein. I had offered him $500 for these Macho Man Randy Savage sneakers, and he has them up for 25,000.
That was great.
I sent him an offer for $6.66. He denied it.
I sent him a best offer for $25. How he would have, and it goes through, which is great. He doesn't have a limit on the offer. Like, come on. Good luck with those sneakers. I love somebody that thinks they found the holy grail.
Yeah,
he's like, he made it like the biggest deal. We've got these things.
We got it.
Gonna rock your world, and he's still stuck holding them in his hands here. Good luck with him.
I agree. The next thing, I'm going to skip a couple. Aaron Ortiz posted a picture of Brian giving the finger to Matt. And then in the next picture, they're kissing. Did you see the clip where they kissed?
I did see the clip. I'm not sure I understand it. But I did see the clip. Yes.
Yeah. So I guess in like somebody was writing like everybody loves a kiss spot, like a fake kiss spot. Right. And I'm thinking in my head, like, I get it. It's funny to see that, right? Like, it's funny. I think it's hilarious.
Creating attention, that's for sure.
For sure. And I guess, like, the Australian crowd loves that stuff, right? So I think it's something more towards the Australian crowd than it would be in the U.S., right? Because, like, brotherly love and stuff. But that made me laugh so hard when I saw this. I texted you. I'm like, what the heck is going on,
Yeah, I didn't understand it, but after you explained a little bit that they were in a match, whatever, then I got it.
For sure. And one last thing. So there's this show called The Last of Us on HBO, and I just finished it last night. It's
No spoilers.
no spoilers at all. It's an absolutely incredible, incredible show. And if you have time, take a look. Like Mark did a great. He has a show, The Silver Linings, that you get like if you're a Patreon, and he explained it the perfect way that I've ever heard it explained. The acting, perfect. The scenery, perfect. But he was saying that he didn't enjoy it so much because he put himself in the fatherly shoes of the guy that is protecting the main character, right? So he said he said everything was great. It was a 10 out of 10, but I myself didn't enjoy it because as I'm getting older, we start to look at those gloom and doom movies more seriously, and we put ourselves in those situations.
Right. I can't speak to it because I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, I mean, as you get older, as you have kids, I think you look at things with a different perspective. I've noticed myself doing that a lot too. Even
For
hearing a
sure.
lyric in a song, whatever it may be, starts to change your perspective a little bit.
100%, absolutely. So I just wanted to say that. This week in collecting, I sold my one sling Andre.
You finally sold it?
I sold it about 2 weeks ago, and I'm gonna say this story quick. I got $1,250 for it, so I end up losing like $250, $300 on it, which is okay. But eBay, I don't sell on eBay a lot, so I sold on eBay this thing. The kid happened to be a major mark, but he's not in the group. So I messaged him and I said, "Hey, brother, I'm sure that you know me from the major pod. Since you're a fan, can we take it off of eBay?"
How did he know how did you know he was a fan of the pod?
Because I had brought up
Like you were
we were talking back and forth, and we had he was asking me about like other toys and things like that, and I said, I also posted this listing in the major pod group, and he said, "Oh, I've been a major mark forever," and I said, "Oh, are you in the group?" And he said, "No." So I just find it funny, like it's weird how many people are not in the group that are actually major marks.
You would think the majority of people that listen to the podcast are not, in fact, in the group.
Yes, it's true.
Because there's only like 4,000 people in the group.
There's only 2,000 people in the group.
Right, and they have way more listeners than that.
Way more, yeah. So he refused to take it off, and I don't blame him. It's a big purchase, so he wanted to either keep it on eBay or Mercari. So I was like, okay, let's just keep it on eBay. I shipped it out the next day. He got it within 2 days of selling it. He had it in his hands. I confirmed he got it. He gives me a good review. I'm looking for the money. The money's on hold. I'm like, what the hell? It says you're going to get the funds by March 30th. I'm like, March 30th? Why March 30th? So I call them. They're like, sorry, anything over $999, we have to hold it for 30 days because if the buyer changes his mind, we have to have the funds there to replace it. And I said, yeah, but it says in the listing, like, no returns. And she said, yeah, that's only there for looks. eBay can overrule that at any time. So you, as the buyer, have my product, and I don't have my money for 30 days. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's a shit rule. And I told the lady, I know it's not your fault, but you got to go talk to your boss or something because that's a ridiculous rule. Maybe 7 days or 15 days, but 30 days? Like, that's ridiculous to hold somebody's money. It's just ridiculous. Especially when they give you good review.
It's ridiculous that you have to deal with the fees, then you have to deal with that nonsense. I think the buyers are held hostage to a certain the sellers are held hostage to a certain extent. So that's why I'm afraid to sell stuff on eBay. That's another reason why selling is such a hassle. You want to do it in the groups, but then you have to really lower the price. You're reaching a limited audience. If you take it to eBay, the audience is bigger, bought the fees, then the pain in the neck, the hassle of returns and all that crap. Like, it sucks. I'm glad you at least made the money back. But
me too. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would have ended up making any money if I would have sold it in the group because nobody would have bought it.
What did you pay for it?
I paid like $1,600, I believe, for it.
Now, why did you? What happened initially? Where the thing you stopped the bidding or something? I thought that.
Yeah. So I had the bid. I had it for bidding. It was up to like 1150, and all of a sudden I look and the bid is gone. Like the whole post is gone. And I called eBay and they were like, "You ended it," and I said, "No, I didn't. I wasn't even on the app." And so I don't know what happened, but they couldn't put it back. So she told me the guy that messaged you is the highest buyer, is the highest bidder. So I end up messaging the guy, and that's how we started talking.
Yeah, did he pay the price that he bid at?
No, higher. It was higher. I told him for $1,250, I'll sell it to you. That's it. And he said, okay, no problem.
You probably could have gotten a little more, no?
I probably could have gotten more if it was bidding, yes. So, but it is what it is. I know it's in a good home. He said he's gonna love it, and that's all I care about, you know.
Yeah, all right. I mean, it's just such a pain in the neck, but
R.I.P. to Joe Shu's dad. Shu's dad passed away, unfortunately, and I was listening to his podcast. It was the podcast right after it happened. And man, it was one of those times that like I was tearing and crying because he was talking about how much he loved his dad and how much his dad would want him to keep going and how it wasn't really sudden, but it wasn't expected either, right? So, and the thing is, you can never ever like, no matter how a death happens, you can never prepare yourself for it. And I just wanted to wish my condolences to Joe. And
same. Yeah, I didn't know about it, Sony, until you sent me the show notes. So I did not know. Otherwise, I would have messaged him. Maybe I should do so after. But it's one of the worst things that people could go through.
100%
gone through it. So all right.
And condolences to you, Joe. And we're happy you got, you know, Bo's card of you did sell out, which is amazing. And that's it. And then ask us anything, guys. So this is, let me just pull up the Facebook group. I'm like, where the hell is all these questions? I'm like, I'm looking at the post. I'm like, where the hell did I post it? Okay, here we go. Okay, first one. Jeffrey Truniak. No question, just wanted to commend Sal on his mature interaction with Zombie the other day. Thank you, Jeff.
I appreciate that. At first, I wasn't sure if he was being sarcastic or not.
No,
but
Jeff is being real. Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate that. I mean, there's no need to be. Truth be told, I don't really give a crap. Like Shawnee and I talked about it. This is what we do for fun. I do it because I can't do this on my radio show or TV show. This is an outlet for me, for Shawnee and I, to be able to talk about a passion of ours. So I don't need to get dragged into this stuff. However, if I do see something that I find corny or whatever, a lot of times I'll pass by some stuff. But that I felt, you know what, I want to comment on this. So I probably shouldn't have, because I don't even want to deal with the nonsense back and forth. But I felt like I handled it properly. So thank you for noticing.
Yeah, I think it was great. I think, and even on Zombie's part, the only part that Zombie responded, which I didn't like, was about him coming on the pod. Like that was an effect on us. But besides that, he handled himself good.
Right.
Thoughts, Johnny JB, thoughts on the World Baseball Classic. Who do you think is going to win it all?
No idea. My thoughts on the World Baseball Classic is I don't care about it. I care about the Yankees. I care about the Mets. I care about Major League Baseball, not the WBC. Have you been into it at all, Shawnee?
I've been into it, yes. So
really?
USA went off on Canada last night.
Oh,
they went up. They were destroying them. Trout had a great game. I honestly, Puerto Rico had a no-hitter, which is really cool. A collective no-hitter.
I saw that, yeah.
You count those collective no-hitters, Sal?
Yeah, I mean, it counts, the combined no-hitter or whatever. That was a combined perfect game, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sorry, it was. Yeah.
And it was only 8 innings because there was a mercy rule. I don't
I don't
Yeah.
like the rules. That's the only thing I don't like is the mercy and stuff. But yes, I think the USA is gonna win it. If I had to guess, Puerto Rico would be up there as well. And don't sleep on Mexico as well. They have good teams.
Wow, look at you. The
Yeah.
expert.
Yeah, the expert. I like the World Baseball Classic. I agree. I mean I just like seeing like Pete Alonso play with Trout, and like
Right.
that to me is like awesome. Like seeing all the best players play together.
Right.
Like
No, I get it. No, I get it because you're a mark.
Joe Hersky, how weird is it to record the pod before the major pod is recorded? Very weird. Very weird.
I don't. Now,
the-
wait, why is he? Oh, because we're recording it today?
No, the boys are coming home from Australia. They haven't recorded yet. So this is like one of the only like couple weeks that it's going to be released on Wednesday. So it hasn't even been released yet.
So for me, and you know this, Shawnee, but I haven't said this, I listened to the pod religiously, day one, every pod, every day, every time it came out early. For whatever reason, over the last month, maybe a little bit longer, I've just been so busy, and I just stopped listening. Doesn't mean I won't go back and catch up, but I just stopped. And also doing this, like, it gives me a proper outlet that maybe I need without listening to what they're talking about. So it's not kind of the same. So I know we use posts from the group and all that, but I honestly haven't listened. So to me, it makes no difference when we do this.
But Sal, the good thing I like about the pod is if you miss a couple, you could just like
Right.
you could just listen to this week and you're not missing anything.
I know. But I'm like, now there have been times where I've been like 2 or 3 behind, but I always caught up.
Yes.
I also don't. Two things. Number one, I've been trying to be aware of my mood. And I think that listening to more music, which is something that I have not done in years, maybe because of the pod, maybe just because of whatever. So I've been listening to a lot more music. And that's something that I missed, listening to music on my commute in and back. The other thing is, while I absolutely love the pod, so much so that, like I told you, one of the reasons why we wanted to do the show was to maybe be a part of it one day. But as much as I love it, I do think it feeds an unhealthy addiction that I have. And I'm trying to get that under control as well and just focus my time and energy elsewhere as opposed to 90% on my collection, which is something I've done for like 5 years, however long the pod's been in existence.
Yeah, I feel like even with us, with the taking this hour every week, Sal, it has helped me not collect more. It's weird because like, and I know it should be the opposite way around, but for me, it worked the opposite way because this is a way that I could get out my thoughts and like, and instead of buying stuff, I could talk about it with you and like with other major marks. And that is like, to me, like a huge thing. And honestly, I've been really good. I haven't bought anything big or like I just been like getting rid of like stuff. And I'm not saying I won't collect. I'm just saying like I'm not going to be a wild animal spending money that I shouldn't.
Right,
know?
just recklessly on everything because
everything,
out,
yeah, like
and all that stuff. Yeah.
I don't need 3 bendies. Like, why am I ordering 3 bendies at a time? And in my head, I'm like, I'll sell it, but I never do.
Right? No, it's, and then, dude, you look at it like, especially the newer releases, and I'm still guilty. Like, I still buy stuff. And as a matter of fact, I bought some old stuff. I needed to complete my WCW Galoob Series 1 mock collection. That's been like years since I completed it. I needed 2 of them. I finally got those because I've been selling some stuff. So I figured, all right, I'll sell some stuff and pick that up. But the Mattel new releases, like, what the hell do you do with those? If I go to sell those, there's no way I'm going to get the $20 back.
No way.
Back.
Yeah.
So what do you do with them? Like, am I just going to throw them out? Do I put them in a lot? Like, if I don't want it, if I get to a point where like I just want it the fuck out of my house,
donate it to the toy drive.
All right, that's not a bad. No, you can't have if it's open. If they're
if it's opened. Oh, you mean if it's opened?
What do you do with
know. That's a great question.
I don't know what the prices are, and then think about it. Shipping is at least $8, right, per figure.
If you put it in a tube, like not a tube, if you put it in a mailer, like I use a bubble mailer, it's like $5.
All right, so let's say $5 on the best. The best you're going to do is $5 per figure. And then I charge what, 15 total? I'm making $10 on it, which is not bad, but I mean, are you even going to be able to get 15 for some of these? So I don't know. It's like
I completely get it. I get it for sure because you could buy them usually in Target for the same price,
right?
Like mint on card, right?
Well,
so
all the friggin' attachments, the hands and different they're all binned up together. I don't know what goes with what.
Yep.
Dude, that is thinking about it, it's a nightmare.
It is.
Thinking about trying to dump some of that collection. Anyway.
Do you think Chris Giovanni, good brother, and day one listener, do you think that we would be where we are today with wrestling collecting, and with all the small toy companies without the major pod?
No, I don't.
I agree. I completely agree.
Are we biased in that? Are we being too narrow?
I don't think we're being biased. I think it's the truth. I think that Matt and Brian called for retros, and what's that saying, Sal? Be careful what you wish for.
Two things I think. Now, I'm aware of it because of the pod. I know I'm not alone, but you could also feel the groundswell as the pod became more popular. Prices start to go up, other figures come out, all that stuff. Me personally, I would never be aware of this stuff, so now I'm definitely aware of it, even like the Mattel exclusives and all that stuff. But the other thing that happened was the pandemic. And I think when you combine the pandemic on what the boys built for the 3 or 4 years, whatever, before it, then you had that explosion of people just going nuts. I know it's come back down a little bit, but
yeah, I mean, think about it. I mean, just look, they made their own toy company that's successful. So like that to me just shows like, yes, they had a huge hand in all that stuff, which is a great thing for the toy business, right? You know, like, but yes, sometimes it does feel like, hey, is this too much? And it gets overwhelming for sure. Patrick Fitzgerald, how is the WWE going to keep the bloodline strong if the Usos are going to lose to Sammy and Kevin, plus Roman losing to Cody at WrestleMania? So that's gibberish to Sal. He has no idea. He has no idea what you just said. But I agree. I wish that Sammy, my thing would be, I wish that Sammy would beat Roman for the title, but they'll never do that. They're going to have Cody beat Roman. It has to happen. And I don't know what they're going to do with the bloodline, but I have a feeling if they play their cards right, they could write a very, very badass storyline with the breakup of the bloodline for sure. And you have Roman, you have Cody, you have Sammy, you have Paul Heyman, you have a bunch of really big stars in that like storyline. So I'm sure they could do great with it. Jeff Montalvo, only 2 more questions, Sal, then we're done. Shawnee, since last week, Sal flexed his muscles as the wrestling genius. Did that make you want to hit the books and catch up with your boy?
Yeah, get educated.
Yeah, I've been reading up. John Pena, what is your favorite video game or video game character? And are you excited for the Mario Bros movie?
I am actually excited for the Mario Brothers movie. And I wish, when I first saw it, I was like, oh man, I wish they made this 20, 30 years ago. I would have really loved it. But I still am excited for it.
They did make a Super Mario Brothers movie 20, 30 years ago.
They did?
With John, yes.
I remember the TV show with Captain Lou Albano. Do you remember that? And I used to love it. The cartoon, the Mario Brothers.
You never saw the real life movie of Mario Brothers?
I don't think that I did. No.
With the Goombas in the elevator, and there's music on, and they start making the Goombas dance.
No.
No.
Do you remember the show, the TV show? It's before your time, but I don't know.
No, I don't. I don't remember the TV show.
There used to be like a probably Saturday morning cartoon show with Mario Brothers with Captain Lou Albano, the former wrestling manager.
John Leguizamo. I'm sorry to cut you off, Sal. Yeah. I just don't want to forget it. John Leguizamo played Luigi.
I've never heard of that. No, I got to look that up.
You got to watch it.
Movie up.
So Captain Lou Albano played who?
Mario.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
What year was this?
Had to be late 80s.
I had no idea of that. Yeah. I have to look that up. All right, last one.
It was the Super Mario Brothers, I think, Super Show, if I'm not mistaken, something like that.
I gotta look it up, but I'll send you the link for the movie. But it's so, I love it. Some people hate it, but I think it's amazing. Brandon Patterson, the last one. Shawnee, how does it feel to be a major pod sex symbol?
Ah,
Babe, you heard what they said? They said I'm a major pod sex symbol. What do you think about that?
Who else would be?
he's right.
She
There is
said, "Who
nobody
else would be?"
We've already seen basically all you have to offer. I mean,
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. That's it, man. Anything else, Sal?
no, I think we're good for now.
All right, man. All right, everybody. We love you. Thanks for listening. We're out.